Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And as I was going to take my day off today, I haven't taken a day off basically in I don't know, over a month. Blizzard decided, you know what, screw that. We're going to announce, we're finally going to break our silence. We're going to announce an update to the Battle Pass system. So, I'm sure a lot of you people want to know my thoughts on it, my take on it, want me to go ranting and raving about it, of course. So let's go over it. Let's go over every single change that they are promising to add to the Battle Pass, and then I'll give you my thoughts on how I feel about it, if it's good enough, all that stuff. So let's just dive right in. Let's not waste time. Let's start looking at everything. So first, they said they're going to remove weekly quests that require legendary and arena runs. Is one of the complaints I heard a lot about, is that, it's tied to your collection. You have to, have this stuff to gain XP. It felt pretty bad. So that's being removed. That's a good thing. They're changing the weekly quest of win 7 games of ranked play mode to 5 games of ranked play mode. Basically, they've made it a little bit easier for people to complete. I would have preferred to have just seen win 5 games of any play mode. Like, why does it have to be ranked? Whether it could be battlegrounds, arena, duels, casual. I feel like any mode should be fine, but yeah, it's still ranked play mode. I guess they really want to boost that ranked played rate, so there's that. I mean, that's a slight improvement. I guess that's good. Tavern brawls and battlegrounds will now contribute to quest progress, so that's really solid. I couldn't understand why they took Tavern Brawl especially out of it, so you should be able to complete quests more consistent with previous gold earnings with that. So if you have play 3 games or whatever, play beasts, play a different tribe, you can do that in Tavern Brawl Battlegrounds. Again, this should have been day 1, but I'm glad it's there. It's better than not being there. They're making small tweaks on certain quests, so this means what they're saying right here is some quests simply aren't working as well as they think they should be, or harder than intended. For example, the play 50 corrupt cards had a couple of issues making it too hard to complete, and now corrupted cards will now count properly towards this quest. Again, these are all things that basically should already be there. They're there. It's good. I'm not going to complain about them making things that should have been there, but, that's solid. All 800 XP daily quests will now reward 900 XP. They want quests to feel more rewarding, so they're increasing XP for daily quests. Basically, in my first video, I said they would micromanage this. They would tweak numbers by a little bit, and that's what they're doing here. They're tweaking it by a little bit. It's a bit more XP. It'll boost things by a bit, so that's good. I'm not going to complain about it. A little bit more XP is nice. And then there's big, more fundamental changes that they're making to the Battle Pass. So first, they're reducing the amount of XP needed to reach certain levels in the reward track. So basically what it means is they're reducing the requirements of the current rewards track by a total of 37,000 XP, which is nearly 20%. It'll make mid to late levels easier to reach and adjust for absence of XP events. So, they're basically saying, they don't need to compensate as much for XP events. They're not saying that XP events are going away, but they're going to make it slightly better. As a result, we'll see that XP requirement for a variety of levels will be lower and progression through levels will be faster. I mean, that's good. One of my complaints, or a lot of people's complaints, has been, it takes too long to get to that next level, to get that, a next arena ticket, to get to that next pack. The more often you level, the more often you're going to get gold. That's a good thing. And they said that after this change is implemented, your existed earned XP value will be retained. So when you log in, basically, you should level up a couple extra times if you've already, played a good amount. So that'll be a nice little bonus when you log in. Another fundamental change is they're adding more gold rewards to certain levels of the track. They're adding 50 gold to the current rewards from 27 and 30. So that means we're going to get 200 extra gold on top of the system. It injects a bit more gold and addresses feedback about slower gold earnings. This feels like the most micromanaged part of it all. Literally adding 200 gold to make the gold more even. It's kind of a little bit silly. It's just the little most minute change. But yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, but man, it's not a heck of a lot. We're adjusting rewards track bonus to provide steadier gold income. So basically, from after levels 1 through 50, it was you could level up to level 150. Now you can level up to 350. They're adding 200 extra levels, but each level after 51 will take a lot less XP. So yeah, now you're going to get 50 gold every level instead of the original 150 gold. So they tripled the amount of levels you can get, but they third the result of the gold. So basically, there's not extra gold you can get from this. You will get the exact same amount of gold if you max level, but what they're saying is because it's more spread out, you're more likely to level up, gain that gold increment more often, and as a result, you don't feel like you have to wait as long for every 150 gold you get 50 gold. I mean, this is better in the way that you get more gold a little bit quicker, but overall the gold amount is not more. The only gold increase we have seen at all to the system, the 50 gold levels, and then of course the bonus XP we're going to get, because that means you can get these bonus levels a little bit easier. So the average player will level up more, get more gold, but don't be fooled that they're adding 200 levels to this track, that overall we're getting more gold from the extra levels. We're getting the exact same if you complete them all. It's still totals out to be an exact same. So that's all the changes, and then they wrap it up with saying what's next. This is, again, a statement from Ben Lee, the guy that made the original response, and he said, as we said earlier, these will not be our final changes to the system. Like with all content and systems within our game, our intent is to always release content, monitor feedback and data, make the right choices for our player. We knew this would be a new and complex system that required iteration. We're committed to short-term changes and a long-term vision to make this a fun and rewarding part of Hearthstone. We also want to strike a balance between making changes quickly and ensuring that we get things right. And we're taking additional time past this point to plan the next round of updates to implement in the future. We have some ideas about tweaking the 1 through 50 experience to make progression feel even better for players. We'll be working on the system to get it right, and we'll share more information as we finalize our future plans. We're thankful and fortunate to have such a passionate community, and your constructive feedback is always heard. So that's everything. That's the post. That's all the changes. That's the message from Ben Lee there at the end. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, it's something. It's something. It's better, obviously. It's an improvement to the system. But this needs to be the start. This needs to definitely just be the start and not the end game. This doesn't change most of the fundamental issues that we've been talking about with the game. The dust system is antiquated. The game is still extremely expensive, especially with the addition of the mini sets, which this system likely still does not even get us close to in terms of, getting there, trying to make us whole while adding all this extra content to the game, making it more expensive, increasing the paywall required. But we'll have to see on that. It doesn't change the fact that modes like duels and are way too harshly monetized. You have to have all these epics, all these cards in your collection, and it doesn't change the fact that like all the achievements that grant XP, those type of things are all tied to your collection. It still feels pretty predatory in that way. However, there's a really important thing to note here. As they have stated, this is not a static system. They're open to more changes. They're open to more feedback. And, that just shows that your voice, our voice, is being heard to an extent. They can't ignore us. We keep speaking. They have to keep making changes. But don't forget, they instituted this really crappy system day one. They lied about it. That hasn't changed, which, again, I don't really see an apology yet for that. And they made it so that they they can micromanage this. If you watch our first video on Blizzard lying and all that, I talked about it's calculated that they're going to micromanage the XP and gold. They're going to give it a little bit of a boost on the gold, a little bit of a boost to XP, and that's what we're seeing here. It's by design, like I said in that video, and they're going to keep tweaking it to the point where either we shut up or it's actually good enough that it's rewarding the player. I'd rather it be that it's actually good enough for the player and not just to shut us up. So let's, keep pushing. But as I do think they can do a lot better. But again, it's still a good change. It's still a step in the right direction. It just needs to not be the final step and not even close to that. But I do want to point out another really important thing. And I think this is really, really something good to take away from. We changed the way that they talk about this. They're saying that they're going to continuously improve it. They're not doing the whole PR talk of, we've listened to you. We're doing this because we're this great company and all this stuff. And you're not seeing all the content creators blindly saying, hurrah for Blizzard, because we called that out. They're being a lot more careful. Creators are being a lot more careful And that's good. Basically, we're not seeing the typical singing high praises of everything Blizzard does no matter what, despite the fact they already did something originally crummy. So a lot of good things are happening here. So let's keep fighting for a better economy. Let's keep fighting for a better battle pass system. And let's keep having our voices be heard, because if we have seen today, we can make a difference, even if it's one really small step at a time. Just let me know in the comments below, do you think this is enough? Is this the end of the road? But let me know in the comments below, do you think this is enough changes to the system? Will this bring you back to the game if you were on the fence? Or would you like to see a lot more improvements, especially a lot more improvements that people have suggested, including myself and other people that have still yet to be implemented? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day. And stay salty, my friends.